I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Here. Burgess.
Here.
Chavez.
Here.
Hayes.
Here.
Myers. Williams. Here.
Okay. Let's move to the approving of minutes. So make a motion to approve May 22nd, 2012, our regular board meeting. Your motion. Second. Second. Comments? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Benson.
No.
Burgess.
Here.
Chavez.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers. Williams.
Okay, the motion is carried. Then a motion to approve May 30th, 2012, the special meeting. Motion?
Second.
Comments? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Benson.
No.
Burgess.
Yes.
Chavez.
Stay.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers. Williams.
Okay, motion carried. Motion to approve June 5th, 2012, committee meeting. Motion?
Second.
Comments? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Benson.
No.
Burgess.
Yes.
Chavez.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers. Williams.
Okay, motion is carried. Then motion to approve June 5th, 2012, the special meeting. Motion?
Second.
Comments? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Benson.
No.
Burgess.
Yes.
Chavez.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers. Williams.
Okay, motion carried. Let's move to the reports of officers. Village Clerk, Ms. Debbie Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Ed. First of all, I'd like to remind everybody that the village stickers, the last day you can purchase your stickers is on Friday until 5 p.m. Doors will be locked at precisely 5 p.m. Any stickers that are not displayed by Saturday, June 30th, there will be fines and tickets issued probably right after midnight on June 30th. Be aware, the police officers do go out pretty much that night. So please do everything you can to come in and get your village stickers on Friday before 5 p.m. And second of all, I'd like to mention that here I am guilty of it myself, excuse me very much. I have been told by more than one resident that we're not using our mics. Can you hear me? And I was not using my mic, so I apologize. We would like everybody to please use the microphones when speaking. Apparently, we're not being heard, and it's true, because as I'm recording the minutes, I'm having a problem hearing certain people who do use the mic. So not only would you please use your mic, would you please speak up into the mic? So that would be very helpful if you could do that for everybody. Also, I passed out on the back table seldom used codes. We have some Sauk village codes that are seldom used by not only by our board members, but by our audience members. I'd like to know if everybody could please review those codes. If you have any questions, you can contact anybody, any of your board members, anybody at the front desk, and we can help you with that. And I've also discussed that with the mayor and several board members that we need to start implementing and using those codes that are already part of our municipal code book. The village hall will be closed on Wednesday, July 4th, in celebration of Independence Day. And I'd also like to invite everybody to come out this Saturday for the parade, as will be just talked about by Trustee Chavez and probably Trustee Myers when he comes. But after the parade, during the festivities behind the village hall, there will be several vendors set up to help you enjoy the rest of the day. So don't leave after the parade. We'd like you to come back. We have some food vendors, and Parks and Recreation will be serving food. There will be elephant ears, assorted Mexican food, a lot of different vendors, including vendors selling items like pampered chef, Avon, jewelry, candles. I think you'll get a kick out of it. It'll be a nice time for us to sit back and relax after the parade. And lastly, I just would like to say that community decorum has taken on some really, really terrible times in the last 3 years. I think it's time that we as a people realize that the media is not a place to fight, bicker, and politics. I think it's time that we come here to do business and realize this is a place of business. At least 4 residents stepped up to the mic last week and swore during the public comment period. I personally am offended by that. I find it unacceptable. I know that you're upset and oftentimes would like to make comments in the heat of the moment, but I do ask that we try to refrain from swearing And I try to ask that the board members also remember that when they're speaking to the residents, they're speaking to the residents, and they deserve respect. So I would just implore the audience and the board members to realize that we're here to take care of business, and we need to respect each other. And thank you, Mr. Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you, Ms. Clerk Williams. Let's move to the village manager, Ms. Henrietta Turner.
Thank you, Mayor. Can everyone hear me in the audience? I want to make sure that I'm heard. Trustees, I passed out this evening, and I apologize for the lateness of my report, but Kevin and I needed to work sometime on Monday in reference to my secondary report. I met with Gerald Pike actually today. He's our IT person, and we reviewed the camera systems. The estimates came in, some were $7,000, some were $5,000. We opted not to go that direction. So we opted to buy the cameras ourselves at $2,000, and Gerald will install them. We'll have the first cameras right after the first week of July. We're speaking to the cameras that are now in the location that we have now. We're working to have a higher resolution. We met with, I'm sorry, what was the name of the company that initially? Rayline. We met with Rayline. That was the actual company that first installed the existing cameras that we have now. He came out, his estimate was $7,000, which I was going to bring to you. So we talked about that, and also some remote cameras in here. For our next fiscal year, we're putting for budget, but anticipate a cost for cameras of about $2,000, and then Gerald Pike's IT cost to install them, but it'll be considerably less than the proposal that we received. A separate report of the emergency fire hydrant program. As you know, that there was a concern, and based on the meeting from last week, I was asked to put together a proposal plan to address this issue. We met several times with the fire chief as well as Kevin Weller to address this. So here are some of the key overviews you have in our proposal. Our recommendation is to do it into 2 phases. Phase 1 is to repair 25 hydrants in this fiscal year over an 8 to 10 week period, and then to start on the south side of the north side of the village. And some key ones that the fire chief has actually located that we want to address right away. Then we would go into the next 25 or so to be in fiscal year 2012, 2013, which we would budget for, and lastly in 2013 and 2014, we would need to budget for our fire hydrant maintenance program to be implemented as we go forward so that we won't have this problem again. Let's say the location would be on the north side, the time frame would be 8 to 10 weeks. The estimated cost for the equipment is about $62,500. They run about $2,500 a piece. The labor cost would be a combination of regular time and overtime. Kevin and I had a very long discussion about that. One of the things that's key is that because of the water issue, our staff would have to be there to help locate, turn off, turn on, if we hire a consultant, and if they have to be on standby, we might as well use the wisdom and the knowledge that we already have. And so it would be a combination based on Kevin's review of about a 2-man crew for 3 days a week, 5 hours per day at regular time, and a 5-man crew 8 to 10-hour shifts on a Saturday at overtime. That cost would be approximately $10,000. Then there's miscellaneous cost of dirt, dump truck rental, things such as that, about $4,500. A total cost for the 25 would be $81,500. The funds to pay for this would be with fire funds and the water fund account. Currently, the water fund has $695,155.03, and the fire fund has $89,805. Now, according to county, we can use this as part of the equipment and probably will assess most of the equipment costs to the fire fund, and I believe somewhere around between $35,000 and $40,000 is assessed to that fund. Attached is a memo from Kevin in reference to the work and the detail, as well as Mohan, who is not here today, he's on the conference, the balance of the water fund and the fire fund as well. So I wanted you to have an opportunity to look at that. We have a recommendation to do that, and we can get started as soon as possible. Kevin has a purchase order ready to go for that amount for the 25 hydrants. I believe you have to, the volume is more than 25 to get any kind of discount. The discount comes in only about $100 once you buy more than 25 at a time. So we're looking for some direction in reference to that. and the fire chief is elated that we can actually do this, because this is a program that he's been wanting to implement for some time.
I do have a question in regards to the fire hydrant program. First of all, this was brought up about 3 years ago. And at that time, there was grant money out there for that. I'm asking now, is that possible? Does anyone check to see? Because 3 years ago, there was grant money. The application was here. Somehow or other, it didn't get signed, and we didn't get the money to fix the fire hydrants. Now we're going to take money, that money that's coming out of the fire department goes for their equipment. I know it's in there for, I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I'm asking now, has anyone applied for a grant? Has anyone looked to see if there is grant money out there for the fire hydrants?
Mr. Weller did tell me about historically that there was a grant application, I believe something like $50,000 or something like that. $500,000 is what was banked around. Currently, there are no funds. We did a search with County Jackson office as well as that's what there's a manager looking for. We're looking for more road projects now is what they're funding, and even those have not been fully funded by the state. But the state has approved the program, but they haven't approved the funding for the program. I'm hoping maybe phase 2 we can apply as grants come open and available. That's also something we can apply for, but I'm not aware of any grants currently that are out there for fire hydrant funding at this time.
Okay, I just wanted to know maybe because this was, I thought maybe, I guess it might have been a one-time thing, but just looking to see if there's anyone apply for any type of grants for this particular purpose, because as you stated emergency. I mean, we've been trying to do this and get this done 3 years ago. Now it's headline emergency, and it was an emergency 3 years ago.
But Trustee, I just said emergency because I think that's what the term you all used last week. It was an emergency that we need to address this right away. It can just be a fire hydrant program.
Well, it needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be taken care of. I'm just wondering, it's an emergency now, and 3 years ago it was an emergency then. But now we're going to go ahead and do this, and even if we didn't have the money back then, and we didn't sign the proper papers to get this grant money, we still should have done something 3 years ago. I'm glad to see finally we're doing something.
Trustee, with all due respect, 3 years ago, we have the village manager look into it. There's no grants available now. We need to move forward. That's what the village is trying to do. If in the event money come available and we can find money, we will return the money back to the but we need to move forward. Ain't no use us dressing 3 years ago. Let's move forward, try to get this done now.
Mr. Mayor, I was not through with my statement. I understand why you're saying what you're saying, sir. Only thing I'm trying to say is this, sir. 3 years ago, yes, 3 years ago was 3 years ago. I'm just asking a question about trying to get grant money for that. You said there wasn't.
Manager, answer your question.
Thank you, sir.
She answered the question on the grant. Why we continue to go on and on about the
Because,
grant?
sir, we should have did this a while back.
You was here, we didn't
We
do it.
did. No, it wasn't because of us. It's
The
because
village manager went out here. She's doing it now. We're reaching out to get things done now. 3 years ago, all of us were sitting here, it didn't get done.
it didn't get done because it didn't get signed properly, sir. And you know why it didn't get done. I'm not asking it. I'm asking, could we go out and find money now rather than do this? And yes, it wouldn't be a problem, and it should not be called emergency. This is something that should be done. This is a priority. It should have been done back at that time, but all of a sudden now we want to do this. If we have no problem, we should have done this before, but don't make it seem like all of a sudden now that, well, we're going to do this. It should have been done. That's what I'm trying to say, sir. This should have been done ongoing. Once we didn't get the grant, okay, we have to do what we're doing now. We should have did that back then too.
Thank you.
But
Thank
then,
you.
so now you cut me off.
Okay.
And you make sure you do that on every trustee, sir. Because if not, I'm going to stop. Because no, it's not that. Because you allow trustees to talk when they want to, as long as they want to. Yes, you do. Now all of a sudden, now you're going to cut me off because I have questions about something that should have happened a while back, and it was under your administration. It was under this whole board's administration. This whole board was here when it happened. I'm just asking the village manager a question. I didn't know. You answered for her after the fact because you're telling me I shouldn't go on. This is something that's important.
3 years ago, it's finished. We're moving on. Let's move forward.
You make sure you do that. Every single person that does that. But now I'll have something to say. I'll interrupt just like you just did.
Go ahead, get the mic.
Madam Manager,
Trustee, get the mic.
Madam Manager, this total cost for repairs, does that include all the out-of-service fire hydrants? We have a total cost here of $4,022.46, what I see here. For this,
The total we have estimated, and it's just an estimate of 81,500, and that would be for 25 hydrants, phase 1.
25 hydrants
Phase 1, sir.
on phase 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay, like you said, Mr. Mayor, when this was brought up, and I don't want to hop on it, but it was brought up before about the hydrants needing to be repaired and the number of hydrants that made it an emergency. Even one hydrant out of service is an emergency for the house right in front of it. But nevertheless, the board saw it fit not to address the issue right away.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Trustee Benson, again, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I said to Trustee Burton. We talked about what went on 3 years ago. Let's go to 2012, find the money now and repair the fire.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ms. Manager, on the third page of your memo here, I have pump, 3-inch pump. I want to know what is a 3-inch pump and what are they going to do with it? It's fire chief.
The third page of the is actually belongs to Kevin. That's his report. We're talking about pumps.
Yeah, well, yeah, but a 3-inch pump, what would that be used for?
That's a pump that we use to pump out the holes, the trash pump. All it does is pump the water out of the hole when we take the equipment out of the hole, pump it down.
So you stick a tube in the fire hydrant hole.
No. When we dig the hydrant out, you'll have residual water coming out of the water main or the hydrant itself, and it fills the hole up, so you have to pump the water out of the hole to continue the job.
Okay, Chief, you can't use improvised cycle. Can you tell me why?
If I take the dirt, dirty water and stuff out of that hole and grab it out, do a pump, I can tear a pump up.
No, I said improvised siphon. That's siphon the water out of the hole. You can improvise siphon for that?
The pump we use is a standard pump on every dig we do. You have to have something to dewater the hole for safety and to be able to work. So no matter what, you open up a water main, you're going to have some water fall into the hole. You have to remove that water. So the pump comes out on every job.
Okay, see, Chief, the same with village money, an improvised cycle, which I have used on the fire department many times, used to pump out excess of water, either from a fire building, whether it's dirty or not, whether it has a lot of debris in it or not. Creating an improvised cycle would save the village money and allow you to pump out any type of debris or dirt or anything out of a hole that you create. I would think you would want to utilize that type of instrument that the firemen should know how to create themselves to get down in that hole and pump all that water out. It would save the village money. Okay.
You want to pay the money, I'll buy one and give it to Kevin.
No, sir, Chief. Improvised siphon is something that you create with water hoses and equipment that the fire company already have.
We don't have.
Okay, thank you. Dump trucks. What will you use dump trucks for? Okay.
I'll make this easy. The whole job, any job we ever do on a dig, we need certain types of equipment. You need a truck to haul a trailer over, you need a dump truck to haul dirt or rock over, you need a backhoe to dig the hole, you need other pickups to haul the personnel or other equipment. The hydrant itself is self-explanatory. A pump always goes with the truck. This is labor. These are all pieces of equipment on overtime that would be charged if we had a charge for an emergency side ours. Otherwise, all this equipment comes with us every time we dig. So it's not a piece of equipment that's going to cost us extra money. It's a day-to-day operation. We would normally take it with us. If we went into, this was a job where a hydrant was run down, these would be the charges we would charge for that damage to that hydrant. And we'd have to have personnel out there, we'd have to have equipment out there. Each piece of equipment has an hourly rate, and it's based off of that.
Public Works Works should already have trucks to haul all this equipment, and I know you do. And
that's what it would cost. The dump truck itself, for us to rent it out or to use it, is $26.48. And if you add more to a plow or a salt spreader, that price goes up. That's the charge of the truck. That truck we currently have. I'm not buying a new truck. I'm not renting a new truck. I'm not leasing anything. It's in the garage. We take it out. But if we need a breakdown of the cost of all of what a job would cost, that truck would be one of our trucks, and that would be the hourly rate that one of our trucks would be to use it.
so the village is gonna be charged using their own vehicles to do their own work in the village. That's what you're telling me?
They're charged every day with a piece of equipment because we use it every day.
I think what Kevin have here is a breakdown of what is charged for overtime in the event that we do one of these holes or fire hydrants. That is what it's going to be cost to the village in overtime or truck use or seeds or dirt or whatever to get that job completed.
Yes.
There's nothing extra or anything. It's that's what it's going to cost to get the job done.
Okay, so the labor for repairs of the hydrant, including the overtime, who does that work? Is it contracted out?
Nope.
So who you paying overtime to?
Whoever would be doing the work.
What the public works guys be doing the work?
Yes.
So why are we paying them extra money to repair our hydrants, the work that they should be doing for the village?
They are. And if they had to work on overtime on a Saturday, they'd be getting paid overtime rate.
We just approve overtime on Saturdays, or if it takes overtime after their work's been finished. If they have to do overtime to do that, then it's what the breakdown, the use of the truck and different things will come to.
What I'm seeing here is labor for repair of hydrants. So they're gonna be working on the hydrants, and if they have to go on the overtime, they're gonna be charging them overtime also. It's $6.16 for 5 men for 5 hours of work. And they have any overtime, they want to do an overtime charge. Why are we paying our workers? They're already on the clock when they start in the morning. And then when they go to repair these hydrants, they don't get paid for that. If they go over the overtime, then they get paid for overtime only. Right. From what I see right here, they're charging us a normally extra hour work and overtime, double time and a half. That's what it looks like to me here. Why? Okay, hold on, let me finish. 24 hours, 7 for 5 hours of work. 5 men for 5 hours. Their first 8 hours should be for free because they're already getting paid for that.
Right.
Then it's not free.
Anything over extra overtime.
It's day-to-day pay. It's their hourly rate.
That's it. Okay, let me be quiet. I get right to you.
Mr. Mayor, I'm done.
Mr. Waller, I have a question. This printout the village manager gave for us is just a basic estimate, right? So you're saying that on a normal everyday basis, if you were doing a grass cutting observation, if you're doing one of these, a grass cutting trip, you would think if you had to do the entire village, if you were going to have 6 men on a team for one day, if somebody were to ask you, how much is this going to cost? You would say it would be 6 men times 8-hour shift. Now, this is their normal work assignment, but because we discussed with the village manager again last week, to think about the cost of how much this is going to cost us, is this why you put this together just so we would have an idea with how much money we'd be spending, and then the village manager could then let us know where these funds will be coming from?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, that's incorrect. Let me say this. Why would you even put this on paper if we know that they're going to already get their regular salary? The only thing that should be submitted on a paper, if it's requested, is how much overtime was included in it. And that's it. Their regular salary is their regular salary. You don't need to tell us how much it's going to cost. Okay. The public is not stupid. Not their mind. I'm done.
Mayor and trustees, what we were trying to accomplish, and I'm sorry if it was confusing, that was not something. What we're just trying to accomplish is that because having that people may have been 3 or 4 weeks ago, Mr. Miller said that his staff is strapped, and he's down to, I believe, 6 men total. 6 general, 2 supervisors, and I know that. And so we have 6 to 8 people that can do that, actually a crew of about 6. So what we were trying to do to limit the overtime is to have a combination of having them do it during their normal, regular scheduled time, and then do that for 3 days during the week. And then on the weekend, we would do the holes and then clean up behind themselves, which comes with the seed and the dirt, because we're not trying to leave a mess behind us. And I know we have someone in the audience who has a fire hydrant now, and she can tell you that it leaves a mess. We want to definitely clean up behind ourselves. And I'm just trying to get a program. I will look for whatever funding we can find. At this point, Trustee Burgess said that we can look for that and hopefully reimburse ourselves. But because of the concern that I believe Trustee Myers and the chief expressed to me in reference to those fire hydrants, we were just trying to come up with something we can do and spread it over time. So this is just for your review, but we can't move forward until you all tell us and give us direction in reference to that. To continue with my report, Parks and Recs, the 2 part-time employees have started. They're being trained. Fire department's going to be training, I think, tomorrow on first aid and CPR. They're being orientated with Trustee Chavez, and they'll be working at our parade. Trustee Chavez, I don't want to speak for you, but I think you're happy that you have staff that can help you work the parade, but they'll be here for the parade. And we're doing some other things in reference to setting them up and moving them forward. The parade, the department heads met to review the parade preparation. Equipment is scheduled for delivery on Friday, the 29th. Public Works, Kevin has assured me that he's all ready for the delivery of all the wonderful porta potties and the garbage cans that have been donated, and the weather is anticipated to be quite hot. So we please let your staff know, your volunteers and the public to hydrate, because I think I saw somewhere around 98, 95 degrees is anticipated for Saturday. The village has received some of the equipment for the slides. Public Works is scheduled to install that, but we're waiting for the rest of the equipment to arrive. I believe we'll receive half of what we requested. And that is the end of my report, unless you all have any questions of me.
Yes, I have a question. For the first one, Mr. Pike, as far as the cameras is concerned, is that something we're really looking to do? Because I had asked also that we put a, I don't know if it's a card or password or whatever on the copy machine also. And I think we need to do something. This is before you came, and I had asked about putting a timer or a password, so every individual that uses the copy machine would have a password to use the copy machine. So that's something I had asked.
We can look into that. I'm not quite sure this copier can do it. Actually, we've been visited by Canon to look at doing upgrading, and I'm trying to locate the maintenance agreement so that we can see, because it's almost time for us to talk about upgrading. I like to do a lot of things because that sucker doesn't collate staple for me, and I'd love it to do that. So we'll be looking into that, and we can look into departmental to be able to code if that's something you request. When we look at the machines, I believe there's some at the police department that are pretty antiquated. And some of them we rent, some of them we own, some of them we lease. There's not on the same program. And I'm new, but your machines over here don't work with machines over there for different models, makes, companies, so we're buying different cartridges. I'd like to have the same company. I'll just pick Canon and Xerox because everybody understands Xerox. So if all of our copy machines were Xerox, then we would have the same maintenance agreement. We can rotate the machines and it'd be the same cartridge. Right now, each department has a different type and a different style. So that's something we can look at budgetary wise, but probably won't address it this fiscal year. It'll be a suggested recommendation on budget time.
For the cameras you're talking about?
You said for the copy machine?
Copy machine, yeah.
Yes, it's time. I believe it's time for us to upgrade and renew and decide to at least buy or, and I'm thinking we don't even own these. We should at least let them maintain them. But it's time, but I will bring that for you because there's a different cost.
Okay, if we can utilize the copy machine that we have, it can be a password protected one, that would be nice. I think it's just a matter of the program being put in something. But back to the cameras, these cameras that we have here now, I believe, in that much of disrepair because they're pretty new.
They are not, all of them don't work. One of them is blinking in and out. So they need to be replaced. And I checked, I know as well as Kevin checked, and the warranty's done. I think they only had a year warranty. And that's why we invited the guy, the company, Great Line, to come out and review that and walk through it, so none of them are actually operable, and they're not working. They could explain why. But we're going to get smaller, more economical, modern models to replace what we have, and then phase in, there's some additional cameras that we need to have in integral places, as well as being able to view them. Because right now, when you can view them, you stand in the utility room, and I'm not having that. So I'm having what we can have in different locations. I can view it from my office. Kevin can review it from his. The chief of fire, police can review it from there. Because right now, the only way you can review those cameras is to go into this little room.
Okay.
And Trustee Williams spent some time in that room, and she can tell you it's not nice to view that camera, stand up and look at his room.
Right, that'd be a good thing, so we can view them all together. And also, I hope you're looking into getting a camera for the community center. That's a very...
Actually, I spoke to Trustee Chavez. We have a lot of things we need in the community center. One of them is we need the internet there. It was there at one time before I see the program, and I'm going from what they tell me, but it is not there now. Actually, Respond Now has a wireless thing that they brought in, that they have in their company. We do not have internet access at that building.
If they have a wireless, where are they picking it up?
They're using a card. They use their own route, their own card. But we're going to, and Trustee Sheva and I had conversations actually earlier today, and actually a few minutes before the meeting started, that's going to be something in reference to internet access and getting Parks and Recs a web, email address so that people can email and request meeting notices and things like that. So we're going to be working on that now that he has 2 part-time staff members.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it possible that we can still get the state from the police department from over there? I mean,
I'm going to the police department on Friday to actually locate the ID machine that they said they used to be there. Kevin and I need to find that so I can find the equipment, and I will be relocating the safe at that time.
because if not, if it's too much of a hassle to take out, we can try to get a
I'm
small
going
one.
over there to spend some time with the police department. Chief, I'm coming over to find that ID, because that's really going to be important. I think I really want to start the program. As far as the ID and some other things that they have in place, and we need to find them and bring them over. So we should be able to relocate that safe. I'm going to put it in the office.
I appreciate it, thank you.
All right, let's move to the village treasurer, Ms. Carmichael.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On the 3rd Thursday of next month, which is July 19th, the both police and firemen's pension board meetings will be held, and that is my report.
Village attorney, Attorney McGrath.
Thank you, Mayor. Report.
Village engineer, Mrs. Zarnick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, this year's resurfacing program has started on 217th Street and Clyde Avenue. Curb work involving removal and replacement has started and will continue on until the resurfacing done. Second of all, the 223rd Street design is almost done. That's slated for next year's construction. We've given that to Kevin for his review, and also we'll be submitting that to IDOT for their approval. And finally, regarding the Sauk Trail Lake Michigan water main design, the existing site plans are nearly complete, and we've got a preliminary water main layout completed. And now we're waiting on Cook County to provide right-of-way information so we know exactly where we can put the water main. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mrs. Zarnick. The mayor report, I really don't have a report, but I do want to invite everybody out for the parade on Saturday. The Parks and Rec and Trustee Chavez have been working very hard, and I know everybody will have a good time, so we hope to see everybody out at the parade. Let's move to the reports of trust. Let's move to the reports of trustees and the board committee, Parks and Recreation. Trustee Chavez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, we'd like to invite everybody out to the parade this Saturday. I'm going to get right back to that, but first I'd like to announce, I had, a couple weeks ago, we had a few of our kids from Sauk Village went to the title boxing national tournament in Memphis, Tennessee. Proud to present that we had 7 candidates go, and 3 of them came second in the nation, and we have brought 4 titles home. So I'd like to ask those kids right now if they can show off their little trophy. Did you guys bring your belts? Yeah, please come on up here. Come on up. And I'd like to show these kids off, maybe take a picture. Maybe I can get them stand in front. Mary, I can come down there and take a shot. Well, I had the 4th one, she actually went on vacation to Georgia. She would have been here with her belt if she wanted to be here. Her name was Jackie Scott. I'm going to introduce you again. You have Don Briggs, Rachel Scott, Gabriella Mejia, Catherine Chavez, Robert Chavez, and Joe Briggs. Like I said, we had the 3 came in second in the nation. We wanted all wins, but hey, I'll take 4 out of the 7. Like I said, if you like, please take a shot. Thank you, guys. The village ended up picking up the hotel out there we were at the Comfort Inn, and Parks and Recs went to Sam's stuff and kind of offset the cost. We went to Sam's and bought them healthy food so they can have it out there. I'm very proud of our Sauk Village kids. 6 of them actually are from Sauk Village. Gabby is from Chicago Heights. But we did have 6 of our own kids from Sauk Village go out there. I'm very, very proud of them. They put in a lot of work and effort. And it's their hard work that really prevailed. I always tell the kids, Coach, the rate, it's your work, not my work. You put the time in, and you got the reward for it. So I'm very proud of it. Back to the parade. Just received this right now from Austin Sturt. I'm proud to present that they gave us a donation of $250. Anybody that's actually going to be a participant in it, and we're going to use some of this money to buy food for the participants that were in the parade as a big thank you. So we have something for our village to come out and watch and entertain our citizens and go to some of the costs of the festival. So I really appreciate this, Sir. And I believe you guys get a donation too, correct? Yep. I don't know how much that water costs. You use water, right? Yep. I don't know how much that water costs. If you'd like to share on your report, I would be happy to hear it. But these guys donated water, and we had the Emmanuel Church donate some hot dog bread so that we can have something to go with our food. We are getting fully packed in the community center with our food items and our beverages. We made one big trip already today, so we are getting prepared. I did like to let the village manager know that there is one change on Friday. The porter potty company called, said they will come on Saturday instead of Friday. So, but I'm pretty sure Skyline's on schedule for Friday to drop off the garbage cans. So that's one person you're not going to see on Friday. They will come on Saturday, and then Obviously, we'll all be here, so me, myself, will just go ahead and point them out in the right direction of where we want to support potties. Zumba classes are going on right now. Everybody's shaking and getting sweaty over there. It's a good thing we got air conditioning on that side of the building. We are having a little bit of problem with the other side air conditioner that we just bought. But Kevin said he's already contacted the contractor to address that. Good thing it's a cool day. If it's too hot and the air conditioner's not fixed by tomorrow, it's supposed to be a real hot day tomorrow, I may shut down that side for the kids, just as if it's just too hot, I'm not going to have them in there getting exhausted or anything falling on the floor. So we're just going to play that by ear, and we'll see what happens for tomorrow. So if the air conditioning goes, we're good to go. If it gets too hot in the building, I'll let them play for a little bit. If it gets too hot, then we will send them home. The other side, air conditioning is fine. I don't see any problem with that. But that's all I have, Mayor. And again, I thank for the Sauk Village kids who put their time and dedication in, and the manager for helping me with all the details of the parade. Our co-chair Ed, he's not here right now, but I want to give him a good thanks. We're still getting more parade applications in. As we speak, we will take the parade applications all the way up until Thursday. So if you still have a mindset to want to come into the parade, let me know. I got to get those number counts because we're giving you guys all a hot dog and a drink so that you guys can, have a good time. And thank you for joining in the parade. Chief, staff, guys that are going to be in the parade, I apologize for my absence for the Thursday meeting. I had a doctor's appointment, so I may have an appointment for my finger. And I do apologize for not being there, but I have a great appreciation to all of our staff that are helping out in this parade. It seems to be like a very, very big parade, and your efforts are very appreciated, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done. You guys are doing it for the village. You've been very selfless about it, and you guys don't get enough thank yous. And I really appreciate everything you guys have done. And how everybody's kind of coming together. David Williams, you pulling in, helping out. Big thank you for that, And the individual, Jeff Morgan, I think he told me he had a tire flat today at work. He grabbed the truck, stranded for 3 hours, no cell phone reception. So he won't be at the meeting tonight, but I still have a few more parade applications for him. I want to give him a special thanks. This is something that he really wanted to have a dream for Sauk Village to come out and have a parade. I shared in his dream. Really didn't know how to do a parade. It'd be my first time, and I'm really happy the way it's turning out. Festivities in the park, I've handled before. That's no problem. We're going to have a good time out there. We'll have a movie in the park. I don't know if I should surprise you guys with the movie or let you know what the movie's about, but I guess we'll wait until the park day, and I'll let you guys see what movie we're going to play. But as far as festivities goes, we are going to have the dunk tank. I am encouraging any of the village officials, if they'd like to come out and join in the dunk tank. We're going to use it as a fundraiser to raise money for Parks and Rec. I'm looking to have the dunk tank over by the building. So if any of the trustees, elected officials, mayor, if you want to join in, come on in. We'd like to have you guys all participate. It's a community event. It's not just the Parks and Rec thing on all of our flyers. I proudly present Sauk Village. It's not just the Parks and Rec thing. Everybody's involved. I'm very happy to see how it's turning out. And that will end my report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's move to the Housing Commission. Trustee Haynes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last week we discussed a little bit, shared some numbers with the residents about the foreclosures in Sauk Village. And I just want to remind the residents, if you have any neighbors, friends, or family members that are having a hard time making their house payments, if you have anyone that you know is about to lose their house, the nearest NACA workshop, NACA stands for Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America, is coming up on August the 11th, 2012. It's going to be held at Richmond Park Village Hall. I just want to make sure that we get this word out for the Sauk Village residents, something to take advantage of. They have a home purchase workshop from 9 o'clock till noon, and then they have the home save workshop from 1 o'clock to 3. If you're interested or you have anyone that you know is interested, You can go to NACA's website, which is www.naca.com. You can go under workshops, and you can click on whichever workshop you're interested in, either the home safe or the home purchase. I did check tonight, there's still openings. Usually it's a limited number of people they allow to come to, so there is still availability. So if you know someone, please pass this off, because we know that not only just in Sauk Village, but the nation, there's a lot of people having a hard time taking their house payments. We know that a lot of people are losing their homes. So this is something out here to help these residents, and hopefully it's something that they can use. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's my report.
Thank you. Let's move to economic development. Well, Trustee Myers is absent right now. If you get in time, we will have him to do his give his report. Let's move to economic development. Trustee Burgess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to report a couple of things. First of all, there's still a movement down there where the going to be a sports bar and beauty shop. The movement is going. I understand they have the proper permits and everything. Also, in phase 1, where the doctor's office, the barber shop, and those buildings back there, Ted's, they're ongoing also. There, he's changing the facades there, and I understand he got his permits. I do have a question though for the village manager as far as the pods. I know we stated and we talked about that last week. What's the update on that? As far as them, are they being, first of all, are they being ticketed? Are they being cited or anything like that?
Trustee, I had a conversation with Mr. Quigley, who was the new representative for DD Partners. They apologized profusely for the miscommunication, and they did not have any idea. He actually came to the site visit. They did not have any idea that they were there as well. If we are going to ticket anyone, and I'm trying to keep a friendly relationship with DD Partners, it would be DD Partners that would receive the ticket, because they are actually the owner and have control of their property. They have assured me that they will start removing and have removed some already, and will remove them as quickly as possible as they talk to pods. However, going forward, pods likes the site so much that they probably will build a building on that site. And so they will be removing those. It does take time, as you saw, to remove those. They will be removed, and they did apologize and ask them to give them some time to get down there and coming back with a proposal, both of them together, to present to the board a proposal of a new facility there for pods. To store them, these things, and so I did emphasize to them that if that does come forward, there will be no outside storage, and they definitely will not stack them 3 high. There is a variance issue that Chair and I have talked about, but we're trying to work with them to remove those, and they should be disappearing quickly.
Okay. Yeah. As far as that agreement that's going on, I've also talked to the powers to be as far as that, and the guy from POTS had just taken, I guess, the realms or just became in charge of that. And at the time, he was offered a lease, and he doesn't want a lease. He wants to build a suit. And as we all know, how long it took WINPAC to actually come about. It's going to take that long, but I didn't want them to hold that over and say, okay, well, we're getting ready to do this, or we're getting ready to do that. However, in the meantime, can we store it? Because that parking lot is getting messed up, and you said that the DP Partners, I was under the impression, and I talked to the guy at DP Partners that they asked the guy from
Mr. Atwell,
yeah.
Mr. Atwell, and they talked to J.D. Putnam, their engineer, and we had done a preliminary review, as I said in my email. However, they will be removing those immediately. I told them I could not review any plans or have any conversations with them until they were able to complete that process. So once they removed all of those in a timely fashion, then we would come back and start talking about whatever site they want to go forward. But until then, we have to do that. Now, actually, I'm planning to meet with Mr. Quigley, because I haven't met him. He is a new person. Is it Andy somebody?
Andy James was the go-to guy
so
for
he's
DP Partners.
Mr. Quigley is the new Andy James. I haven't met him, yet had several conversations, and I plan on meeting with him soon. We can talk about not just that development, but the other. Because the people that are in front of the building are moving to the old bare paint.
Yes, they are.
Right here.
Well, No, that's okay. The people that are in, okay, those pods actually sit on the side of the parking lot.
No, I'm saying the people
The
that
people that are
in
in the south side of the building with Jacobson, that's part of Jacobson Trucking, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up next. I have Jacob Trucking came to the village yet. I talked to him, I told him to come to the village to find out they're going to be moving, I think in the end of July, towards the end of July, they want to move that fertilizer. It's a fertilizer plant. They want to move the fertilizer from one point to another point, and we're going to try to come to the village and find out. And also I wanted to find out if we have to have any, if they have to have any special permits to store that fertilizer that's going to be there at their plant. That's something we should look into too. So I just wanted to make sure that, because they claim, well, they did get a good rate, thanks to the village trustees and the board for that, and they're going to be moving into the bear
Well,
plant.
if they're doing, they told, the only conversation I've had with them in reference to this is I've talked to the partners from security. He said they were looking into the old bear paint. That's what they're coming here. I can't speak to storage of fertilizer. I think they're doing it there. We have
That's something that we
but it would not be for them to come to the village, actually the owners of and operators of that particular unit. And when I talked to the partners, they said they would be there probably past July, mainly because the lease hasn't been finalized there. So I think they're just working out the details, and I'm quite sure they're coming. But I will follow up with Sharon on tomorrow to contact those people who have control of the, for lack of a better word, for the bear paint location to remind me to come into the village. But we haven't issued any occupancy at all in reference to that. I think that's also people on the review thing. Is that right, Sharon? Yeah, they haven't completed the construction, so that I think that may slow it down. And I know the chief went over there for a fire some time ago on their roof, so they don't have full occupancy to get them in there. But we are working with them. But I'm going to meet with Mr. Quigley and start a relationship with him so we can talk about those projects that are going forward.
Okay, and then I think the guy, like I said before, the gentleman from Jacobson Trucking is going to be contacting me, I'm pretty sure, within the next week or so. Also, on Torrance Avenue, they're starting to resurface the project down by Glenwood Lansing Road, and it is coming this way. When they'll get here, I don't know, but it's starting. And if anyone has went down Torrance Avenue, I don't think you go as far as Joel Road. I think you get it further going north, but it's coming this way. So I'm sure Kevin and Jim will probably let us know when it gets to our spot so we can, get you the delineated deed. Go ahead. Delineated. Okay. I'm trying to get those put down after they get to resurfacing, but I don't know if you saw it, Kevin, but they are coming this way. And also, I just want to report that we're still working on getting all the information that we gathered from the department heads to compile that and get that out to the proper people throughout the state and throughout the country. That's something that we want to put ourselves on the map in case of any industrial or any commercial properties or people that would like to come out to the village. The next meeting for the economic development will be the second Thursday of the month at 7 o'clock here in Sauk, here at the Village Hall. That concludes my report.
Okay, let's move to public relations. Trustee Lee.
Like I reported last week, we will be having a public relations committee meeting the first week of July. And during that meeting, we'll not be having the first week of July, that's the 4th of July. We'll probably be having the next Wednesday after that. I have to check with the schedule though, because I'm not sure everybody else is booked on that. But we are looking to update the recognition, and I was wondering if anybody had located, if anybody had any that providing each other things. And I was looking to see if we had anything else in the archive, if anybody here had anything about recognition. Because if not, we're going to be working on
Chicago Southland Housing, trustee Benson. Okay, let's move to department and committee and commission, police department, Chief Fox.
Mayor, we had 1,236 calls.
Grab the mic, please.
Yeah, 1,000.
Mayor and Board, we had 1,236 calls for service from the last day that I gave you guys reported. As of this time, I have another report.
Thank you, Chief. Fire department, 911.
That sounds kind of a lot, Chief. Is there a way you can kind of, it's 1,200, you know, has it been a 2-month time since you did, or a 3-month time? I'm sure, I'm hoping it's not a 2-week. Right, but I'm just saying, I'm asking, is that?
Anything from a special training to a car down
No, I'm just, no, but I was asking, is there a rough, can you give me a rough estimate of the last time, since you said, you made the statement the last time that you had, that you gave a report, is there an estimate of when the last time you gave this particular report, just wanted to count?
Last board meeting.
June 12th was the last board meeting, are you saying since the last board meeting?
And that, June 12th, we had 1,100 some calls, so 5 of those.
So that's 2 weeks, then 2 week period, okay, that's all I asked, was that with that, with the time frame, that's all.
Okay, fire department, 911 commission, Chief Stopper.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. From June the 12th through June the 25th, the department answered 24 calls. Folks, we got to keep an eye on all our neighbors right now, because if anybody's been watching TV and they don't know this 90, 100-degree weather coming, let's look out for our elders. You know, simple phone call or just walk next door, whatever it should be. But we got to keep it, take care of our own people. That is my report.
I do have a question, actually for both chiefs. Coming up during the 4th of July weekend or holiday, because of the fact that the grass and thing is so dry, do we have anything in place? Because, you know, we're going to have activity everywhere.
It's coming. We just have to be prepared for it. I got, as you know, ship people Monday from 6 to 6 along with the volunteers. If they run into anything big, we know how to pull the button and get right in there. The only question I got is the security centers. Anybody backing straight down there?
We'll probably be working with the village clerk and the village manager is working on some type of agreement right now for where it's going to be. In the past, we kind of know where we've been using the community center, so they're going to make sure that those areas are up there as they go.
The only people I was thinking that is going to be whatever definitely I would lobby of the police officers and crews, because every other building that we have, every other building we have closes at least 8 or 9 o'clock.
So it's going to most likely be the police department as our community center.
Also, the library, as used during the hours, the library is open, and as Trustee Chavez is indicating, the community center can also be used as a cooling center if needed. If we get to 100 degrees on Thursday and power failure happens, call the village hall during working hours, or call the fire station afterwards, or the police station. We do make accommodations in the community center. We try to staff it. Because not too many years ago, maybe a year or two ago, we did have over 100 degrees, and we had to make accommodations in the community center. And we just had volunteers staff in the community center, because the police department wasn't big enough.
Yeah, if we're going to move, if we're going to use the community center, we're going to open it past the normal hours.
Yeah.
We should have police personnel there.
That's
we can't leave those centers open. That's why we've always been doing business hours. Every municipal building should be a cooling center during business hours. But after business hours, the police department and the fire department have normally 24-hour main operations that have some form of investing area for people to come. But if you're going to open the community center, you must have police personnel, and we may even have to have buzz ambulance or fire
Police and fire.
Police and fire. Okay, so if there's a power failure, the residents should contact the police department, the fire department, and accommodations will be, the village manager and I are meeting tomorrow.
Yes, Mayor, we're going to put together a plan reference to that. As the clerk indicated, we identified some of the locations that we're going to come up with a policy and procedure as well.
Okay, let's move to the Public Works Department. Mr. Rollins.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is an ongoing thing for streetlights, but just give you a report on some of the lights that we currently have. We'll call them construction and out at the same time. 216 place has been ongoing. We do have connection already, and one of the 3 lights is working currently. Tomorrow they'll be working on the other 2. Laura Lane, we had an accident where a pole was run down. We currently have the pole. It just has to be placed up and wired back in. We also have on Jeffrey Avenue, across from the library, we had a pole run down, and we do have that pole, and that's another one. We have the insert put in, and just a matter of putting the pole up and connecting the power. And we do have about 3 or 4 other poles around town. They're wooden poles. We do have those ordered, and they're in currently, so as we replace the other ones, we will get to those other 3. One is on Clyde, one's on 221st, and I'm not sure the other one this time. Secondary, grass cutting is continuing. It's definitely slowing down with the weather conditions. You will see a little bit of weeds growth in some of the areas. We will weed whip some of that down, but some of it is not too bad. We're just going to let it go and take the areas like the fields that we haven't been able to get to throughout the season. Hydrant flushing, south side will start July 10th. On their form and on the webpage, we do have it on the 3rd. There was a misprint, it should have been the 10th, the week after the 4th, but it will start on the 10th. We're continuing when we do have storm events to clean storm sewers individually, so residents are calling in. They do scrape up the material on the storm sewers and make piles. I do not have a problem if they call the village hall. We will come by and pick up the material. If they leave it on the street or around near the manhole up in the parkway, we will be by to pick it up. And also at that time, when we do some cleaning, we are still marking our storm sewers for the public outreach about where the water ends up. It ends up in the lake, so do not dump in the storm sewers. Continuing building maintenance on rain days. It's been a really rough year for rain days. We haven't had many, but we are accomplishing some of the tasks. We did complete the floor in the community center. Hopefully everybody who's seen it is happy with it. Thank you. I'll let the guys know. It'll definitely be easier for cleaning purposes. We are continuing also on landscaping, and we will continue once, hopefully we'll be able to do our hydrant program here, and that will continue landscaping from there, and road work or any other landscaping. Our 4th sweep will start on July 16th, street sweep. We ask residents to please not kick the debris in the parkways into the streets, or please do not put large debris in the streets. The sweeper is for the small debris, the dirt, the minor small stuff on the street. Nothing like leaves or bricks or anything is going to be picked up by the sweeper. So please pick that up and throw that out for us. Also, by July 1st, per requirements by the EPA, we have to report to the public a consumer confidence report that will be in the mail. What is in the mail will be in the mail Thursday. It'll be in the homes before July 1st, which is required, and that is a report on the water system as a whole. We're continuing to work with mosquito abatement. They are dropping dumps in every storm manhole around town, which is just a tablet they drop in the manhole. It stops the larvae from growing, and we stop the mosquito problems, hopefully. As the village manager reported, we did get some parts in for Carroll Park. For some reason, they only sent us 2 top sections, so we're still missing 4 other pieces. So when we get that in, we will put the slides up over at that park and reopen that area. And currently, they should be finished. We had a water main break today over on Navajo and Apache. Right around 2:30 it started, and they should be done by now. And my final report on water issues, we have had a few complaints or reports of residents saying that kids are starting to mess with the fire hydrants because of the heat. Let everybody know, if you see anybody, please call police or fire immediately. If they turn on one of these hydrants and they turn it down too fast, they will damage a water main, and it surely will be a problem if they have a fire in that area. So they are not allowed to open them. I don't know if anybody's ever told anybody or reported, but we've had 2 this week. They did not get them open, but they had all the caps ready to go. Unfortunately, they're little kids, and not a lot you can do except report to the parents. But please call the police if you see anybody tampering with the hydrants. And that concludes my report.
Thank you as well. Administrative Service, Ms.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to touch base on a couple things. Derek, Trustee Burgess talked about the liquor establishment that's opening. They have passed all their inspections, their health, fire, and building inspection, and the mayor has signed the liquor application, and it's waiting to be signed, the actual certificate. He's planning on opening July 1st, and Mr. Panos did pull a permit today. He paid for his fascia and some lights on a signpost, so he's in compliance now. He was issued a $100 ticket, and I informed him he can go to court or pay the fine. Surreybrook, they did the parking lot. They did a horrible job. We've been on the phone with them trying to set up a meeting to go out there physically and tell them what to do. I don't know what they used. It looks like they just sprayed over gravel. Some of the stuff is already pulling up. They didn't do the whole section. They just did in front of the stores. They did really a bad job. And like I said, I'm trying to get a meeting together with them because otherwise, if that doesn't get fixed, we're going to start writing tickets for that because this has been an ongoing problem for years. They left weeds and it's just ridiculous. I would like you to go by there and take a look at what they call done. Also, I'll be on vacation July 6th through the 17th, and I will be back Wednesday the 18th. Cindy Wagner will be doing all my FOIAs. Gerald set it up so any FOIA that I get, Cindy will be getting in her email so she can take care of that while I'm gone. I'm going to be out of the country, so I'm not going to be able to look at my emails. And then I gave you guys a written report for June 11th through June 22nd for what code enforcement has done. We wrote 103 tickets in that time period with 46 total warnings. Probably overall, in less than a month, we've probably wrote about 250 tickets for various violations. So we're really working hard. We're trying to get people in compliance. We're warning people, but we're also ticketing. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Trustee Burgess.
Sherry, I just have a question. The commercial or the renters vacant homes, the vacant homes that we have there. I know it's not on you, but I just wanted to know if there anything been done to start to cut those yards, trying to take care of it, because there's a lot of them in the village that I know that our public works can't get them because they have their work that they have to do. But the commercial ones that are owned by the banks, I know we have a proposal out there, and I saw the numbers, and the whole board saw what they came back with. But in the meantime, the grass is growing, it's still looking bad, and we have to do, is there anything, and it's not just to you, it could be to the village manager too, so something that we can do, there's something that can be done. Because I know the last meeting that we had, we talked about this, and it wasn't decided who we were going to get to actually do this work, so just ask a question about that.
Well, the only thing right now that we can do is punch them into that code compliance, which I'm not getting a very good response on. Some they're calling on, some they're not. The only thing that we can do as a village is get hire one of those grass mowers for the bid. There was a landscaping person that bid was pretty reasonable, I think, for how these yards are. We need to really get that moving, and then we can get all those lawns cut, and then we can lean the properties. Yeah. Some are getting cut, some are not. I mean, we're constantly ticketing for that, but the tickets naturally don't get the work done. I'm up for any suggestions. It's very hard to find out who is responsible for these foreclosures. Trustee Williams brought that program in, and I've been implementing it. I've probably punched in over 70 addresses in that, and very few, some are calling them and sue that they're responsible for it. They're going to get right on it, but we have a lot.
Yes, we do.
And I don't know what the answer is besides, accepting a bid from one of the contractors that put bids in for the grass mowing and lean the properties.
But you made a statement that I thought was pretty good as far as leaning. I don't know if the lawyers can we do something about that? Put a lien against these properties that are not compliant.
Trustee Burgess, if I may, micrograph has supplied to my office. This is how you do it for dummies for liens. We have changed to transition that over. I'm just going to actually finish it today. I'm going to send it back so they can look and make sure I get all the other villages after that. Then one of the things we're going to have the 2 interns that we're doing is to start identifying the properties once we have the owners, put the PIN numbers in, and start that process. So it's a process to start for the water bills as well as that, but it is a process that we're going to start this summer. But between vehicle stickers and code enforcement back, we have been really busy. So that is one of the things that is the top priority that we want to move forward on this team.
I appreciate that, because as I drive around, as anyone else drives around, you can tell the homes that are vacant, and that's something that I don't want people to drive and see, that even when they pull up and just drive past, they can just notice that house. Even if there's no boarding up or anything like that, they know that that house is vacant. And that's something that I'm sure that, the rest of the residents, and myself included, those are ones that happen, because that house will be targeted, and then you're going to have police calls, you're going to have problems there, because they're using their squatters' rights. So if we can do something between now and the end of next month, end of July, as far as at least get one cut or something, try to make it look as if someone is there, or they don't know, or they can be, they really don't. It's not a definitive thing. It's something that I think that we need to look at now, and if it means that we're going to put the lien and put the money out there to do that, because by right, the town is, we have a lot of people, we have a lot of vacant homes. We don't have to show that we have a lot of vacant homes.
One of the things, trustee and manager, mayor and board, is that statement sounds really well from the standpoint of the board, but as for that citizen who has that home next door to them, that statement really doesn't fly as I ride around. And from my standpoint as police chief, it's also a safety issue. And I know that you guys have not voted on passing whoever's going to cut their grass, but until then, in some of those areas, we need to have that grass cut. It needs to by public works, because safety-wise, those homes turn into more than just squatters. We have illegal activity that takes place in front or near those homes. So we need that grass cut, because so the police department can make better observations of what's going on in that part of the community. That is very key. Again, along with the lighting in those areas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sherry, do you know if all the local business licenses are up to date?
The only one that does not have a business license is Iuccio's. They were issued tickets. He came in with his business license application, which I told him it was due May 1st. He received a couple tickets. He paid one. He filled out the paperwork, and then I asked him if the fire department had been out there to do his inspection, and they have not. I told him that before I could issue that the fire department had to do their, the inspection, and then I could go ahead and issue it. They're the only ones that do not have a license. Everybody else has.
Round the clock decided they.
Round the clock called me and decided they're not renewing their liquor license. They probably just doesn't sell enough liquor in there. So that was one thing. The liquor license, they discontinued it. But as far as business licenses, Iuccio's is the only one.
We start taking my family back there again.
Where are we with you? I know we had the lawn cutting bid. Have you all decided yet who we're going to use?
Yes, Chair had a chance to look at them. I reviewed them. I'm just waiting for an email from the insurance company, make sure everything's done, and then we can go ahead and go to, I assume the lowest bidder. So that should be for who we put in.
Just trying to answer the question. What do we do with business who is still operating
Well, the one thing that I could do is shut them down. I mean, I could have the police escort me and we could shut them down. That's what I would do.
I didn't know if there was other products on the business.
I had two a couple weeks ago. There was the hair place over by Hanover's Plaza, the Cutting Edge 2, and Iuccio's. And the Cutting Edge came in and complied. I don't know if he paid his fines, but he did get his business license. And my conversation with Iuccio's was they were thinking about shutting the place down because Tom's Gorski is selling that plaza. He was unsure, but I told him he was still operating because after hours I see people going in and out of there. And it's a $50 license that he needs to have. He should have had it first. If you'd like, I can go over there and shut him down.
They're closed, they say they're going to remodel throughout the week.
I don't believe that's the case. I heard, and I don't know how true this is, that they were late on the rent, and Mr. Wolski padlocked the door and wouldn't let them in there and blocked the back door with their car. I don't know. I don't know all the details of it. He did come in at the beginning of the week, last week, and I turned him away until he has the fire department out there. If he's like, I can go and shut him down. I don't have a problem.
I think we should give them a final, something in writing, maybe a week or something to comply with village ordinance and rule. And if they don't, then you have reasons to say.
Is there a liquor license there?
No.
Any business that has a license in the village, though, is subject to an inspection by the police department at any operation hours. Any business has a license. That license is not in effect. We go in and we take that license they have that's expired off the wall and we shut them down until they come back to the village board to the village hall because it's appropriate pay.
Mayor, we try contacting the appeals. Trustee Myers, my assistant chief, is in charge of fire prevention and sets up these things. And he's come back to me, I tried to.
Can't hear you.
We don't know if we're in there or not.
Well, when I leave out of here, the door is open and there's people in there. They are selling pizza. And I don't, it's a $50 license regardless. He's already racked up $200 worth of fines. He paid $100 ticket when he came in to apply for his business license, and he has another one that he did not pay, that I'm aware of.
But Sheriff, he's open when you drive by. Just call us, we'll go over there, we'll close him down right then. Because see, he has food and everything in there. So all that's got to be inspected for the health department. He's open it out.
Well, right, the health department has to go out there, and I would have to check to see if they even been out there. I have the reports.
We can close him if he's open out license. Like if you see him open at any time, night and day, if you're at home, it's not even night, you see him open, all you gotta do is we go there and close his business. Shut him down right then and there. And then from there, we issue those do not occupy signs on the door and everything, so they come into compliance.
Okay, well, what I think I'll do is what the board advised me to do. I'll go over there and have that give a written warning. And just tell them that they have till next week to be in here in compliance, or I'll shut them down. And then that's how we'll handle it.
Do they have food license on that? Do we have food license? Do they have up-to-date food license?
Food license? Well, I have, like, Cook County Health Department does those food license handling inspections. They give me copies periodically when they come out, twice a year.
And they do have up-to-date license, right? Don't just say they do.
I don't, what you're asking?
They do have up-to-date license to sell food, or food license.
Well, I'll have to look. I know that they gave me a stack of them, and I filed them away, and most of them they do. I don't know if they've ever made it into IUGOs yet, because that's, I think, the problem. They don't open until 4 o'clock, and the fire department can't even get in there.
I believe we received a copy of that, the county last inspection of all of it. Yeah, I think maybe they just look through them if you get a chance and see what their report on them.
Yeah, okay, that's no problem. I mean, most of those passed. It's just that I'll just have to track down. I think they were done in March.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, Mr. Rao is out, still at the conference. Let's move to Emergency Service Disaster Agency. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. From June 12th through June 25th, the fire department responded as the response agency called. And just a reminder, Saturday before the parade kicks off at 1 o'clock. As the personnel will be shutting down Sauk Trail at 10 minutes to 1. So if you got family members coming in or you're trying to get out of town for other things, this is try and get out before that. And this is we'll get the roadway open as soon as the parade clears the road. But just keep that in mind. And that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Senior Committee, Ms. Langstead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Sauk Village Senior Committee's free blood pressure screening, co-sponsored with the plan, is scheduled for Wednesday,
June 27th is tomorrow, from 1 to 2 in the Senior Center office. We do have flyers posted with the schedule through September. The ceramics group is meeting every Wednesday from 8 to 11, and they are expanding their hours to 3 to 5, and I understand the expanded hour is going very well. Sauk Village Bluegrass will not meet on July 1st and July 8th. That's our Sundays. Our book exchange now includes some large print books. The senior committee will meet this Thursday, July 12th at 5 p.m. and every second Thursday. Coming soon will be our basic line dancing. That's going to be done on a Sunday. And also Zumba Gold class for seniors is coming, and possibly on a Saturday. The schedule for free senior movie days are also posted for the year, with an optional brown bag lunch at 12:30. June 9th movie will be Yankee Doodle Dandy. Light refreshments are provided by our co-sponsor, McConaughey Library. And free blood pressure screening will precede the movie. Little Township's annual senior picnic, the advance tickets for Thursday, August 2nd, will be available on July 2nd for $3. Tickets will cost $4 on the day of the picnic. This ends my report.
Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Hanks.
Yankee Doodle Dandy, is that with James Canty?
Pardon?
Is that with James Canty?
I believe it is.
Just make sure.
Mr. Mayor. Trustee Chavez. Rose, I have some books at the community center as well. I have some books. Are you looking for just hard copy or is it soft copies? Fine, too.
We started out with paperback, but we're getting hard copies, so we got our second book.
Because I have some at the community center. You can take a look at it, and I was trying to collect some books for you too. So let me know if you can use them or not. Why can't I give them to you?
Well, if you leave it at the village hall, they usually manage to get it in the center.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's move to the beautification committee. Ms. Pruitt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. When I first started giving reports, I would provide for you a written report, but since others did not, I stopped doing that. However, now that you've asked for written reports by your staff, I've decided that I would go back to giving written reports as well on a monthly basis, not at every meeting. But the beautification committee report for this time is a little extensive, so I would ask that you please bear with me. I'm going to first talk about the 2012 Clean, Green, and Cream program. It was very successful. Many residents disposed of a number of items. There was really only one small glitch in the entire program, and that is we failed to acknowledge the January 1 law relative to disposing of electronic equipment. But after that was discovered, we did some research, and we discovered that the closest place to Sauk Village for disposing of any electronic equipment is the Best Buy in Lansing. So residents who contacted us were notified of that. In the next edition of Sauk Talk, we will provide greater information where that's concerned. Now, the annual cleanup day put a real shine in many areas of the village, and we are very thankful for 28 volunteers and the one elected official who showed up to assist. We thank you very much, our village clerk, Debbie. And we also would like to give a special thanks to Sharon Novak for spearheading works on 394 as well as the fire department. The areas that we cleaned is a portion of that Hazel Center, the fire department, the police department. We did all of the village signs, the marquee, the corner of Sauk Trail and Jeffrey, and all the areas within the plaza. And we cleaned up really all of the street or the corner moving into that plaza. We weeded as well as mowed because that grass was very, very high. We also cleaned the old 7-Eleven, Jiffy Lube, and the northeast corner of Route 394 and Sauk Trail. Now, I will say that even though we had 30
We had 28 people, and we're very pleased with them. We're still disappointed because we know that we could have done so much more had we had additional residents out there to help us. And then we were expecting the SWAT team, and they were no-shows, so that really put a damper on what we were able to do. But yet we had so many businesses and establishments that contributed to the event. And we would like to recognize Fairway, T&J Meats, Waltz Market, Skyline Garbage Disposal, our own Public Works, Smith's Farm, Bud's Ambulance was on call for us the entire time, and Tom's Tap provided us not beverages, but ice. We do have receipts that are definitely in excess of the $300 that were allocated, and we will be submitting those receipts for reimbursement to the committee. Follow-up activities to that day included weeding and planting just yesterday on the corner of the old 7-Eleven, and we are very thankful for Smith's Farm because they donated all of those plants and bushes for Robert and Rose Ketchum and myself to plant yesterday. So by the time I got home yesterday at 7 o'clock, I was knocked out until bright and early this morning. But we really have to acknowledge Smith's Farm because they have done a tremendous job for the village this year. You know, they've adopted all 3 spots. They put in the legwork as well as provided the materials. But then when I went in yesterday to make a purchase, they said, "Oh, what else do you need?" And they just gave it all to me. So I was very, very appreciative of that. The community yard sale was quite the rave. We had 20 vendors, and through the vendors we took in a total of $360, and the beautification committee sold food items, and that took in an additional $304. We've not totaled all of our receipts to determine the full profit yet. We had one expense that we're not 100% positive if we're going to continue, and we did provide a porta potty. And I'm certain that those who were out there in need really appreciated it, but it was quite costly for us to lease that. So at our next meeting, we will talk about that to see if that will be an expense or a luxury that we will provide moving forward. Again, we want to thank Public Works because they moved benches, grills, everything for us. I mean, they just really were right there for us, and we really thank you for that. In terms of the community garden, today we have 9 of the 11 vegetable beds completed, and many thanks to Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, who donated many of the vegetables, and they assisted with planting 6 of the beds this past Saturday. And again, we want to thank Clark's Landscaper because they gave us all of the vegetables that we ended up having to buy for 50% off, so that really helped us. I'm not certain if you know that we sponsor a group of students from the Learning Academy Summer Day Camp Program every Monday at the community garden, and those young people, and it's usually anywhere between 10 to 15 students, they come out and they're having hands-on learning experiences in our community garden from 10 o'clock to 12. They're learning about gardening and planting and watering, and we also use the library from time to time for some learning experience as well. And this project will be going on into August. The committee has contacted the Cook County Roads Unit for cleanup twice. The first one was before the annual cleanup week, and we noted a positive response to that. A follow-up call was made this morning as they requested to remind them to come out this week to mow as well as to sweep the streets on this Friday to ready us for the upcoming parade. And it is anticipated that this project is complete. We also contacted the Illinois Department of Transportation to clean Sauk Trail that is east of Torrance because that's their catchment area. They mowed during the week of cleanup week. They promised a site visit, and they did not follow up with me. But since I was on the phone with them, I asked them to take a look at that gaping hole that's right up there, because it's truly unsafe condition that we have there. So follow-up details for that is forthcoming. The other two things that are not on your written report that I needed to add since I've been here, and that is the donation boxes. Are they approved or sanctioned by the village? The donation boxes for books and clothing and everything. And I just saw one out at the community center now, and they're just throughout the village.
I do believe that, I'm trying to think of the one that the SSB, South Suburban Disappropriation Minority Confinement, they had the green one out there. I would say that that's the only one that I can recall.
Well, there's one for books, but then there's another one that I see where people are just dumping clothes and bags, and it's really quite unsightly. So if there's no one with oversight on that, we would greatly appreciate some attention to that, because it basically undoes everything, what the beautification committee is doing. Because, just see all these bags and trash on the ground, it's not a pretty sight.
Sure, maybe your department maybe can look at. I believe most of them have maybe an 800 number or something on that you can contact the person.
If their condition is bad, I'll have the girls contact the numbers on them and we'll get them cleaned up.
Thank you very much. And the last thing that I was going to say is, for those homeowners who are cutting their grass, naturally we're greatly appreciative of it. But what I would want to ask, Mr. Mayor, is that when they blow the grass that they've cut, not to blow it into the street, because it dries up and that looks unsightly. But then not only does it look unsightly, it also plugs our sewage. So that concludes my report.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Mayor. Ms. Pruitt, I just have a couple of questions. The first one, when did the Hootie Award judging start?
I'm sorry, I neglected to say that. The Hootie Awards have arrived. We will be accepting applications until August the 3rd, and then we will actually go out and rate the third week of August with the intent of presenting the awards right here in this venue at the last board meeting in September.
I just want to comment on your extensive report. It seems like first of all, has your committee, has it grown?
No.
You guys are doing a lot of work. Okay, I just wanted to comment on the things that you're doing out there. I mean, they're you can see it, you can see the box that's right there as you turn left coming into the village, as you go east off of 394. And then also where the sign is located there, and then where all the other signs are located. You can see that your work is really, really appreciative, and it looks great. I mean, it helps shine, and just need more of that throughout the village. Your group cannot take care of every spot. You're going to try to, but they can't take care of every spot. That's why I was wondering that your committee grow, because you do need more people to do that and to help with that.
That's why I fell asleep at 7 o'clock last night. But thank you, Trustee.
And it's good that you're able to get donations too from the surrounding areas. If you're in need of any more folders, anything like that, let me know about that. Maybe I can do something with a couple of the other businesses that are not in the Sauk Village, but they're out and around.
Fantastic, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, great job, though. Really great job.
Can I ask, is there any way to get that posted on marquee that the Sauk Trail will be closed down? I mean, a lot of residents don't even realize they're having a parade and they wonder why they can't get through it. when they were mentioning that the Sauk Trail was going to be closed down at 10 minutes to 1 on Saturday, just some way we can put it on the marquee so residents know that they'll be blocked off probably from 12:50 to.
Kevin, did you put it on the market that the parade's happening?
That's on there, but.
That's on there.
We say it's going to be closed off.
Would you close off Sauk Trail section of the parade?
Right.
And then it's reopened at the end?
Correct.
The parade goes through?
What's that again? I'm sorry.
Sauk Trail's closed down a section, before it continues on, it opens up.
No, we shouldn't do that at all. No, guys, but the parade, the whole street should be shut down to the parade ends. If you don't want cars driving into the parade behind you, no, and once the parade ends, then we'll open it back up. But the whole street is shut down to the parade ends. But, no, the trustee said that as we go along, they're gonna open it back up. Not gonna do that.
They're gonna open it back up once the parade is going through.
Correct.
Once the parade completes a certain area, a certain intersection, we'll open it up to that point. So everybody's aware, this is what we plan on doing, is anybody coming into Sauk Village from 394, we're going to send them south on Cornell Avenue to 223rd Street, and send them 223rd Street all the way to Burnham Avenue, and go into Indiana, and get them from there, or the south side of the village. It's going to be very difficult in the beginning of the parade to get anybody that's coming into the village that lives on the north side of the village, only because this is where the bowling alley used to be. It's all blocked off. We have no way to get cars through the parking lot. Plus, that's where the parade is lining up. So just bear with us. For the residents that live on the north side of the village, this is getting to their home. This is for the first half hour of the parade. Once everything clears Jeffrey Avenue, we'll open up the Sauk Trail to Jeffrey Avenue, and everybody will be able to get to the north side and south side of the village from that point.
We've been doing this for years. We guys don't do it. You guys do this for
I got a question for you, so we can make sure we clean up. We can talk about this committee. And we're talking about as the parade moves along, as we clear one section, we're gonna open it up on that traffic flow as the parade is still going.
This is me taking off all this machine.
I'm just asking, I want to make sure I'm not clear on it.
Okay, hold on. Chief, can you get with the fire department and who else is going to be involved in it, and make sure y'all work out everybody on the same thing. All right. Let's move on to Ms. Pruitt, the Human Relations Commission.
Thanks again, Mr. Mayor. Human Relations Commission met June 4th, and you should have that handout in front of you as well in terms of the activities that will be taking place. I do want to draw your attention to the community handbook. We are still planning that community handbook. We would really like to have a welcome to Sauk Village from the mayor. So if you don't mind, if you would start working on that, we'd greatly appreciate it. Our Commissioner Sterling is doing a fine job of putting the handbook together, but we still need approximately $3,000 in funding. So I'm looking at a couple people right now, so know that you will be hearing from me soon. The Youth Council, we have talked with our traveling superintendent of District 168, and he's totally on board with us developing the Youth Council. We're laying all the groundwork and the foundation during the summer, and that project is planning to start and kick off in September. The barbecue cook-off was not implemented simply because we had no challengers. In terms of unification of the village, that is a major theme for the Human Relations Commission, and we met with the Department of Justice not too long ago to review some of our plans that we had and to get some ideas from them. And so on that sheet, I'm not going to read through each and every one of them. Those were some of the recommendations that they made to us, and some of the items that we had already planned already. But one thing that we will be bringing before you very soon is an ordinance dealing with unity, because we thought that if there was an ordinance on the book, it would give it more teeth. We're also going to be asking the elected officials to start brainstorming for us and give us some ideas in terms of direction you would like to see that commission to move forward with. In terms of education and training, the Department of Justice is willing to come to provide the trainer type session for the commissioners as well as any elected official or residents who would be interested in a training program and putting on a training for the villagers and whomever is deemed necessary. And that training is scheduled for July 19th. And even though on your document it says July 19, 2013, know that it's actually 2012. We are looking for a location to have that. We want it in a place that is not as official as this lovely edifice that we're in right now. In terms of mediation workshop, we just really don't know where to go with that. You know, we want to finalize it, but I think that once we go through the trainer sessions, you'll be able to better determine whether or not this is the season for that or we should just wait into 2013. And that concludes that report.
Okay, thank you. Police Alliance Committee. Just here.
Mr. Mayor, on behalf of the Police Alliance, Ms. Lucas is sponsoring a Great American Trip July 14th. She'll have a flyer Saturday, costs about $40. And we're hoping that we have volunteers to come out and help with the children on the bus. And she'll have more information on you for Saturday.
Thank you. Okay, let's move to new business. The motion to approve our account payable and disbursement for June 12, 2012 through June 26, 2012. The motion. Need a second?
Second.
Comments? Trustee Williams.
Two questions. I'm on page 2. The first one is under number 2414. It's down on the middle page. Gun buyback. What is that?
The gun buyback is a program that's ran by all local municipalities and the state. We put in these departments $250 a department pay for the return of all weapons that we destroy. So every department in the state puts in $250. I think there was a big article that ran today, for this tomorrow from their manual and the government where they spoke on the buyback program. So this time, somewhere around 5,500 some guns we received back from citizens within Cook County. So each department was involved in all over the $250 charge for the paper to destroy those weapons.
And then, secondly, same page, top of the page, under number 1686, for quartermaster, 3 embroidered shirts, invoice date of 6/5/12. Want to know what that was about. I'd like to get a copy of that invoice too to see if in fact the invoice date was 6/5/12. And the reason why I asked that is because if you look at the minutes that we approved today, May 22nd was when Trustee Burgess brought up item number 838, invoice number 2068 on page 2, and asked about uniform allowances, and the board stated that because we didn't have a contract, uniform allowances are usually in a contract, and we don't have a contract with this individual, so we said that no more uniforms should be purchased. And that was on May 22nd, and this invoice says June 5th. So I'm not sure if that was communicated properly or what.
Those are, that invoice, I'm sorry, I didn't know which invoice you were speaking of. That invoice is for 3 polos that were ordered, their polos that have embroidered the chief of police on there, and they were ordered back in April, but the shirts came in on the wrong size, so quartermaster had to be sent back, and quartermaster just sent them back again in the wrong size. last week, so that may be the reason why that building's just there now. They're black polos we want for parades and things like that. And I think the polos are out. What is it?
$164.90.
No, that's not just for the polos. That's going to be other things the police officers see, because the polos are not just that.
This says pre-embroidered shirts, Chief F. $164.90. So that's why I said I want to see a copy of the invoice. And if in fact, as Fox just stated, if it is because they were multiple times wrong sizes, I'd like to know if he says that they were ordered the first time in April.
Yes.
So I'd like to see if we can follow up, because I'd like to know, did we pay for them in April? When they were the wrong size, if they got sent back, now you said this time you're sending back again the wrong size. Well, I'd like this item removed because we're not going to pay for them, number one, because we say no more uniforms, and number two, we're not going to pay for them for the wrong size. So I'd like this item to be removed, but I'd like to get a copy of all these invoices. I'd like to see how many times we paid for 3 embroidered shirts, especially if they're not moving.
They've only embroidered one time, and that's a good question. Make sure they did not charge a third time for those. That's a good question. Look at that.
But I would like to send it. Well, I made a second, so I would send my second for the accounts payable in order to make that adjustment.
Mr. Mayor, I don't think we voted on here, we just talked about it, discussed it. Use your mic.
We haven't voted on it. We were discussing it, but there was a motion to approve it. So the motion was rescinded and the second was rescinded. Do we have any other items that are any other comments about the county? Trustee Burton?
Yes, I do have one. I stayed the last board meeting, and I asked a question about the scale that we have or don't have, or we're not in the receipt of a scale. If that's the case, item number, I'm just going to go to invoice. Same page, invoice number 157094. I'm not sure. It says weight scale certification. That little amount of money, I don't understand that. What is that? I mean, okay, so that's a class in training. Training class for weight, for a scale. So now, I'll ask the question again. Are we in receipt of a scale? Do we have a scale? No. I'm just saying that we did a scale. I'm saying, does the village have access to a scale to go out there and scale trucks? Okay, that's because I had asked that question before and you said, no, we don't.
No, I did not say that. I've always said that we use the yard right here to weigh the trucks. Now, we can always purchase the scales from the company, which they will give us portable scales at 120 days. Folks have to pay when those scales run. The portable scales run about $18,000. They give us 120 to 180 days to pay them for those scales. And today, that also has made $37,000.
Okay, that's another thing, sir, that you made that statement, and I asked, and I inquired to accounts payable, and that 37,000, sir, is not an accurate. Okay, I'm not wrong. I'm just going by what was told to me, sir. I'm not the one that you made the statement that we made $37,000 since when? I guess it would be since you became. I don't know, but I haven't seen anything. Haven't seen anything on accounts receivable that we made that kind of money coming in from towing. When we had the last one, when the mayor did the last one, there was nothing on there for towing at $37,000.
It's not a total subsidy, that's why, because the money, when you write those tickets go over too long, they come back on our money that we receive from the clerk's office.
So then, did we?
Yes,
we made $37,000. Then why isn't it reported on accounts receivable?
You have to ask Mohan.
Okay, and I asked him, and he said we did not. That's what you're telling me I'm wrong. I asked Mohan, and Mohan told me that we did not receive $37,000. Because I asked him the same question I'm asking you, did we receive that? Now you're saying it goes to Markham and comes back. I'm sure if it goes to Markham, it's going to come back to us diluted, so therefore we won't get the full amount.
It's not. We're writing those on our own. What I'll do is for you, trustee, I'll make sure that, which we did, we made copies of every check that was turned in, over here to the office over here. I'll give you a copy of every check made, close to $37,000, and maybe more. I don't know.
That since how long ago?
Maybe 30 or 45 days.
Okay, so it's 45 days because, as I stated before, I did not see that, and then I asked Mohan, and he said he's not aware of that. And the mayor just gave a report a few weeks ago on accounts receivable, and that wasn't on there either for that amount of money. So now, but now to get it clear, because I don't want to hear 2 weeks from now, and I didn't say this. We do have a scale that we're actually scaling the trucks. We're in possession of one.
What do you mean by how we in possession? So
I'm asking you, does the village...
The education level is in the village of Lord, so I'm not sure what you're saying. What are you asking me by the scale? Do we have a scale? What is the question? Excuse me, hold on. I'm asking you, what do you mean by do we on the scale? You mean do we as the police department on the scale, or do you mean there's a scale in the village?
Does the village?
Chief, I think what do we use, whose scale do we use that when we use to stop a truck or weigh a truck? Are we using village scale, or are we using the scale for the state over there? How do we get a ticket written on a truck that's overweight?
We take, once the truck is stopped, no matter where it's stopped in the village, or where we stop the truck is then transported to the weight scale. From that point, we weigh the truck. That's no fee for us for using that weight scale. Now, we could, again, and I've explained this to the trustees 2 or 3 different occasions. In order for us to have our own scales, we could purchase our own scales, and the scale company would let us have the scales, 4 scales that were going back to the squad, for 120 to 180 days without paying. Those 4 scales would cost us $18,500 some. But at this time, we're taking the trucks and whatever's overweight directly to the scale. These are not portable scales; these are stationary scales that every department in this vicinity uses.
Well, that answers the question.
No, sir. Because my question, sir, is this. This is what I would like to know. If we do not have a scale to stop these trucks that are coming through our town, besides sight, besides looking to see that particular truck low, what kind of training? And I'm sure this $35 certification training does not give that person enough training to look at that truck and see if that truck is overweight. Or because I'm sure that we've taken trucks over to the scale facility on our 30 that were empty. And if that's the case, then what are we using? Because, just to stop a truck and say you're overweight, what are we using to make that determination? Is my first question. And the second thing, Chief, I understand, and I don't know what you meant by education at the time, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But I still like to know what is it that we're using besides our eyes, or the patrolman's eyes, to determine if that truck is overweight and we don't have a scale. So we're just stopping trucks at random and taking them over to the scale to see if they are overweight, if they have this or whatever their process is. And I think that's kind of counterproductive when we're just stopping trucks at will. However, if that truck is overweight, if they do have the proper certification, the proper training to do that, I would like to know. I would just like to know, sir, if we do.
Chief, will you answer?
I'm going to make this quick. I'm going to start with that first. And I said education, I meant education of the police department and the overweight trucking team, not your actual education trucking. So I'm referring to that first of all. Second of all, as I've told you in the past, we have 2 officers in this department that have been to trucking school. And in trucking school, they teach them what it is to look out for as it relates to overweight trucks. And that stop is no different than the stop when you stop a person if you're not sure if they have any driver's license and insurance. When they pull the truck over, the officer feels the truck may be overweight from his sight and what he's learned, he takes the truck to the scale. If the truck isn't overweight, the truck driver let it go. If he is overweight, the citation's written. That's it.
Okay, I appreciate that explanation. However, so in other words, these guys only patrol when the truck stop is open, whether the way station is open. So they only patrol when the weigh station's open. When the weigh station's not open, these guys are not patrolling that particular, they're not stopping the trucks. So they have no way to verify that. Is that correct?
What question is that?
The same question. If the weigh station is not operable, if it's not open that day, then those patrolmen, whoever does that shift, whoever does that detail, are not stopping trucks, correct?
We have access to the weigh station.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
But because no one trusts you, because again, let me ask you. You're asking me questions about the police department, which if you would wait, if the board meeting's over, you want to have me.
I can't, sir. I can't get in contact with you, sir. I've done that. I cannot get in contact with you. You told me if I have a question, did you or did you not tell me if I have a question to ask the mayor? Is that what you told me?
Trust, I'm not going to go back.
I'm asking now. We do have access to that weigh station on 30. I'm asking that question.
Answer.
Pardon me?
Yes, we can. Answer you already.
Yes or no? Do we have access to that question?
Do we have access to it?
Okay, so you know something, Mayor, from now on, I will not ask the chief, I'll ask you from now on. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else before we go to the count bill? Okay, a motion to approve the count bill, all items on here except 1686. Motion.
Second.
Comment.
Mr. Mayor, to make sure that we're clear for the record, vendor number 1686 for the amount of $164.90 is being removed from the council.
Mr. Mayor, just for the record, due to the fact that Mr. Mohan is not here to answer questions that I actually need for him to answer, I'm going to be abstaining on this vote here and also vote for the council bill. I'm going to abstain. Thank you.
Burgess.
Yes.
Chavez.
Yes.
Hanks.
Yes.
Myers. Williams.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Need a motion to approve an ordinance adopting the prevailing wages rate of wage to be paid to the labor, mechanic, and other worker employed in a public works project in the village of Sauk Village, Cook County, and Will County. Motion.
So.
Second. Comments now.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, I don't understand what exactly is this right saying, the state is saying.
Mayor, it's a state requirement that all municipalities adopt a prevailing wage which is set. The attorney was able to give us the prevailing wage, it has to be adopted, typically going to follow this contract. Am I correct? So it's a matter of housekeeping, reference to the state requirement for prevailing wage. And then what we do is we require all of our contractors to provide us proof that they pay prevailing wages before we pay them, and you have to keep those records. I'm quite sure that Mr. Robinson, engineering, Jim Zarnick has familiar with the prevailing wage and requires of all of their contractors as well.
Does this also have anything to do with one department joining another department's union affiliation?
No, sir. This is in reference to this prevailing wage ordinance has nothing to do with any of our staff. It has to do with any outside contractors that you may hire. It's just that you have to pay them a certain standard of requirement, and it actually lists what they do is for contractors and subcontractors. It's a requirement, and us as a municipality have to adopt those rules. It is required by the state statute.
How do we determine what the wages will be?
Actually, it's set by the state, and they have those numbers, and it's attached in the ordinance right behind, I believe, A, those lists. So it's a state list, so it's the same list that we adopted. I believe the trustee, Clerk Williams, Library Board adopted it. It's a standard form. It's a housekeeping issue, but we have to adopt it for prevailing wage ordinance.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, this is the same in the past every 6 weeks. So we've been doing it for the last 3 years. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
I'm going to stay, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Hanks.
Yes.
Myers. Williams.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Let's move to the public comments. Please make sure all your questions is pertaining to only the 2 items that's on the agenda. Only 2 items that's on the agenda. The account payable and the prevailing wage. Yes, ma'am.
Bernice Brewer, Houston, on behalf of the Sauk Citizen of Public Awareness. Page 4, item 2147, there's a $839 charge for the U.S. Postal Service for water funds. Can you tell me how much is Skyline contributing toward that bill? And also, item 1759 for water for engineering, we paid them $650,000 plus $15,000 some dollars. If I'm not mistaken, is this a new application, or because I do believe we paid you this before? I don't have my records here with me. And also this comprehensive project plan, I know we paid something on that before, so I'd like to know is these new plans. Also at the bottom, item 1759, there's also a fee for $621 for the railroad quiet zone. I'd like to know, can we have a copy of the report? Who authorized that? And is that going to be taken out of $270,000 fund from the grant track from the CNN Railroad?
Okay. Most of this information, I'm sure it's going to have to be something that someone is going to have to look into. So when you put this into writing, put it into a FOIA, and get it to share it, you will make sure that we get it to the correct, get the information back.
Okay, can I get an explanation for something you just said? You said that we only asked questions about 2 agenda items, but how the village manager opens up some questions about fire hydrants, we can't ask questions about that, is that what you're telling us?
If it's not on the agenda, then.
It was part of her report, though.
You can ask her if you need clarification on whatever your question is.
I want everybody to know my opinion.
Then put it right in.
Go ahead. You know, that's a violation of the Open Meetings Act, you know that.
If it's not on the agenda, that's what we're going to entertain.
Okay. Even the playground equipment, I have a question about that.
If you got a question about it, then you can ask her or Kevin about it.
Linda Washington, from the Good Place. I think my question is almost the same thing, from Denise for clarification. I did attend a couple of other municipal board meetings this month, and I was informed that they said that it was illegal that you would not let residents talk about whatever they want to talk about. They don't have to talk about agenda items at any meeting. So I just want to know, is that just the practice of this village, or is that really the law?
We, on 2 meeting night, our committee meeting, our citizens can talk about anything they want to talk about. Anything that we are voting on, the other two tonight, then you only can talk about what we are going to be voting on.
I understand that, but my question was, is that the law, or is that just the policy of this village? How you all set it up?
It is the policy of the village.
Okay, so it's not the law that we cannot talk about anything. Now, when they gave their reports tonight, the different committee chair people, we can't ask questions about any of those committees, but they talked about either.
If it's something that we're voting on, yes.
Okay, well, this is not, I don't think this is what you voted on, but I just need to know. I have a question about what the police alliance do, so I have to ask that next week.
You can ask that next week, or you can get to that department chair. Or you can come
You
to their meeting.
mentioned the department chair. The department chair is never here for me to ask. That's why I asked you.
Well, they do have a meeting. You can attend that meeting.
When is it? I just like for me to ask. But that's okay.
Anyone else? Okay, let's move to the miscellaneous business from the board of trustees? Anyone?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it was just, thank you. It was just stated and asked about next committee meeting on the, third, I don't know what the consensus of the board is, we need to find out what we're gonna do tonight, if we're gonna have a meeting, or not. For July 3rd, yes. Yes.
Go ahead.
I actually had some things I want to ask you about the agenda for the next meeting. I was thinking you're right.
I don't know what we have a meeting the day before, 4th of July. I'm not going to be in town.
We've had meetings the day before Christmas, the day before Thanksgiving. We've had meetings multiple times the day before holidays.
I'm available to attend. I mean, I don't know about everybody else.
I understand that a couple people won't be here, but life moves on.
Something board. Board want to meet? I don't have a problem.
I don't think I have a problem with just leaving the agenda for now, and then always do is make a decision before Friday, Saturday, during the meeting.
We need to leave the agenda. We need-
Let's see if we have enough time to the agenda, and before the board, always do is make a decision before Friday.
I'll be able to prepare a packet for the information on new items.
When will you be leaving for out of town?
I postponed my trip to be here to help out with the parade. But I found that I had this approved, and I'm ready to write the parade on Saturday. I'll be here on Friday. Preparing for the parade, because I'll be here on Friday.
Okay, packets usually go out on Friday. I'm not sure if anybody else had anything else they wanted on the agenda. But there are 4 things that I wanted to discuss that I'd like on the agenda. Some of these things are kind of financially related, so I'm sure the finance director will be available to assist you in putting the packets together. The packets are normally supposed to be ready on Friday by 5. I'm not sure what the problem would be. But just so the board can be, I think what Trustee Haynes said, if we have enough items on the agenda to have a meeting. I would like to know about an update on the water bills, the number of shut-offs in the past 6-month period, the number of extensions that we've given out in the past 6-month period, and I also would like to know how many water bills have been waived in a 6-month period. And I can email this to the board just so the village manager can have it. I'd also like on the agenda a discussion about budget talks so we can start setting up a date. I know we're supposed to be looking at that at the end of July, beginning of August, so we need to settle down some dates, because that's usually on a Saturday. And that will give Mr. Rao, as well as our department heads, time to create their budget and speak with Mr. Rao. Building security update. I think it's something we need to talk about. I know the village clerk sent out an email last week. The village hall was left open. And I know that there was, I know I replied back to the email, but I haven't heard anything about what we're going to do to follow that up. Who's going to lock up? Who's going to turn off all the lights? Things like that. And then I also want to know the Lake Michigan water update to the board, see where we are. I'd like to know when water rates are going to be increasing. I know we've been working on programs and we've been working on things, but we talk about there was no time for the allocation. Allocation was not funded to us for this year for the emergency hookup. If we would have started with the water increase after the election, we would have already had some sort of extra money in the bank right now. So I think the sooner we start, the sooner we can start this emergency connection. So I was wondering if our engineer and our public works director would be able to come next week and we can discuss maybe what's going on, give any updates that we have, and if our finance director could be there as well, any type of updated information as far as water rates, because I know we talked a couple months ago, water rates are supposed to go up July 1st. July 1st is Sunday. So
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I do have something. As far as the security of this building, I think, I saw the email and I'm surprised that this building wasn't locked down. When I came out of the building, I think you came out after me, and you saw me in the parking lot. I was under the impression that other people were still left in the building. I think we need to do something to make sure this building is secure, because someone had to come back and he came back at 1 o'clock, I think the village manager, I'm sorry, the village clerk stated that the building was wide open and lights were on. Someone, even if you do redundancy, someone goes around behind them, you're never too safe. So we should make sure this building is locked and secure at all times. Like I stated before, I was in the parking lot when yourself came out, and I still saw cars there that were still trustees' cars that were still there, and I pulled away, so I was under the impression that the trustees that were there would be able to take care and secure the building, but obviously not. So we need to do something. We need to do something quick. And that's something that is a concern, because I wouldn't want someone to come in here the next morning and be surprised by someone that's in here and been here all night.
Anyone else?
Mr. Actually, I think we'll say that the sending of the emails and informing the trustees.
Can't hear you.
The emails and stuff informing trustees of issues and providing us with documentation, I have no problem with that. I do have concern when trustees respond to all. I've been asked not to be included on emails, Mr. Mayor, and I've already sent an email to you. I don't want to be responded by any trustees on any email, especially if there's any decisions or anything being made. I'm making it very clear tonight. I've already asked one trustee not to email me ever again. And it comes on the verge of harassment. So I'm making it very clear, Mr. Mayor, I've already filed a complaint with you. And under the harassment from calls and stuff, I'd like to know what you're going to do about this.
Well, whatever trustee is doing it, that trustee, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. The trustee or whoever is doing it, they're in violation. I mean, it's nothing the mayor will be able to do about it. If they're in violation, they're in violation.
Well, that's one thing I've asked in the email I sent you to find out for sure if they are in violation, because I've asked prior to multiple emails being returned to me for it to stop, and it did not stop. So I asked in my email to you to verify with either state's attorneys or the attorney general to find out if the trustee is in violation.
That's something we've turned over to the legal department.
I actually turned over the call today to the legal department and an investigation was in process.
All right, so that's it there. Yes.
I just have something to add. Right at, we should be up at 3 o'clock then.
Yes, I'll be here until 5 o'clock on Friday and walk outside.
Be sure to see that. Just with anybody with volunteering, if you're going to volunteer for the festivities in the park, please call me for Friday. The number 708-932-9900. You don't have to be a member to volunteer. You can all volunteer. We have assignments for everybody. If we find some things for you to do, we're encouraging everybody to help out with this, and we're hoping Sauk Village has a great day this Saturday.
We did not get any direction for the meeting on the 30th. Since you got my need, or which direction? I think someone was asking for direction, so are we meeting tonight?
Do you want to call for a vote, Mr. Mayor? Okay. Okay.
I say yes.
Everyone else, you got it?
I don't know, yes.
No, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, I'm fine.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's all from the trustee. Need a motion to recess to executive session. I think that
We have some litigation too.
litigation. Okay, need a motion. Okay. Need a motion to recess the executive session to discuss personnel matter, update pending litigation, collective bargaining matter, real estate, employment, compensation if needed. Need a motion.
So,
Second.
All in favor?
Mr. Mayor, I do have a concern going into executive session considering litigation. I do, trustees of this board have client privilege, attorney privileges. So I have no problem going into review, I think, executive session minutes. However, I will not be involved in any discussions of litigation, as long as there's any trustees in that room who is not part of that litigation.
Any other comment? All in favor?
Aye.
I have a question. Is it just, it's not including litigation, it's just for what executive session is?
That's the only thing I called it for.
Okay, no, I called for litigation. I did because we do have an issue. But if they feel that it could be breach of confidentiality, then that's going to be the problem. If you feel that's the case, then maybe we should have it out here. But we have to do something with this.
Well, I think as long as the trustees can talk to the village attorney maybe a couple of times, I have no problem with that. But I voiced my concerns many times when it comes to litigation. Going back to the executive session, my biggest concern is there's no reason to go into executive session when the village residents not knowing what's going on the entire time before we walk out the door. Emails are being sent out when the trustees go home to their supporters, which is still wise. There's no reason to go into executive session when the village residents are not going to know the truth. So, when it comes to litigation, if the village attorney would like to meet with the trustees a couple of times, I have no problem with that. But I'm not going to put, especially important issues like litigation, to be discussed behind closed doors, where it should stay, it's going to be outside those closed doors and for the evening.
But trustee, all due fairness, if the attorneys meet with the trustee individually, don't you think that the trustee that you may have a problem with is still going to know and it's still going to come out and it's still going to happen?
Still, you still have client privileges.
I understand that, but I mean, if he's meeting with each trustee individually or two at a time, and you say that there's a problem with one of the trustees, that particular trustee is going to still meet, and they're going to still converse, and it's going to still happen. So either we do this and know that, because we have to find out what's going to happen, or we can have it out here. I mean, either one, but I don't like to have litigation out here because it jeopardizes our position.
Are you calling the executive session for litigation or the attorney?
I was calling to get a clarification on the litigation, yes, because I read this and I just wanted clarification.
And if all you need is clarification, you got to wait till it's up to the village attorney.
Okay, but then I'll strike my part and get all that together. Okay.
Okay, so we're just going in to discuss the minutes, approving of the minutes. The executive session.
To review executive session minutes.
Right. We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, I amend my motion for litigation to, I'll just amend the motion.